Welcome to FMA Talk Live. I'm your host, Datu Tim. I am missing my co-host. I don't know where he is right now. First show since our break. A lot of things going on. So, wrong button. If you are trying to log in and make comments, make sure you go to StreamYard/Facebook for your permission settings. All right. And welcome back. Yes, thank you, Eric, for Oregon. Carol, how we doing, sir? Let me know how y'all can hear me. I'm going to try to message my wingman. I messaged him yesterday, and I had some issues with sending links. They weren't working properly. So let's see what's going on here. I'm going to give him a call because that's what I do. I've done this before. That's what happens when you take a little time off. You get out of the habit. So let me see what's going on. Glad. Okay. I think it's funny. Evidently, he is busy.
Your call.
Hello? Hello?
When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Hey, Ty, it's Tim. Just wonder if you're able to make the show tonight. All right, buddy. Ciao. So, yeah. So I'm a little out of it. So this show is about my trip to the Philippines. And it's been a whirlwind since I've gotten back. So I came home Wednesday before daylight savings time. It was, I got home, I think, at 2 a.m. I started doing laundry, was up till 4 a.m, laid in bed for a couple hours. Then I went to the gym, physio, and all that other fun stuff, packed because at 3:30, I had to get up on Thursday morning, just a little over 24 hours after I landed, and go to Florida, Orlando, for the Maya All Systems Go convention. I had a good time there, but it didn't help with my sleeping. And of course, what happened, because of a weather front, both my planes were delayed. So, and then daylight savings time. So I got home at 3 a.m. because of it. It would have been 2 something, but it was 3 something due to daylight savings time. I think I laid down at 5 a.m. and then got up at noon, 11 or noon, something like that, and moved around. Hey, how we doing? Are you guys still in the Philippines, or did you get home yet? Needless to say, I am in the process of trying to get back in the swing of things. It is a little rough, this trip. Just the way things lined up, it was just bad timing, The same thing happened when I taught in Barbados. I got back from Barbados a week down there, which same time zone, just be on the East Coast. Oh, jet lagged. Okay, yeah, I get it. I get that. I got back from Barbados, was home for a day, then hopped on a plane to go to Orlando for that event as well. We'll see whether I'm doing this thing solo or not. Jet lag. Sound bad. Okay. All right. Yeah, so I'm doing that. Let me just check something here. I'm gonna check one more thing here. See about where my man is, my man there. Yeah, that's not what I want. What I really want. Okay. Not finding what I'm looking for. I mean, just do this. That's what I need to know. Yeah, that one's still going. Okay. All right. Is that current? Oh, well, maybe they're still going. Okay. So, anyways, I just had to check something out there. All right. So, we are here. We are me, myself, and I. So, let's get into it. So, let me see here. Yep, no problem. Hopefully, she was able to play it. That DVD is funky. It needs a DVD player, and sometimes the laptops and computers don't cut it. But yeah. Okay, so I'm going to assume I'm going solo, and hopefully PG Ty gets the message. If he's not here, something's going on. So, and next week, our show is going to be the pros and cons of attending seminars. I'm hosting one this weekend, which we'll go through. Buffalo Niagara Martial Art Festival. That'll be this weekend in Buffalo, actually West Seneca, a suburb of Buffalo. And I've got Bill Superfoot Wallace in for that. The following weekend, we're doing our Astig Balintwalk Matrix series. Oh, maybe I'll get him to come down for that. Yeah, a lot of things in my head. And we got our camp going on. Okay. Yeah, I was hoping, a little. Oh, I got a message. Oh, he messaged me. I need him here. Yep. Okay. So Ty will be here. It's rough because I'm gonna have to ask. It's more or less for him to ask me questions versus my asking myself questions. But it is what it is. So I've got a rant. Another a comment and a rant at the same time. Nothing crazy. But we are going to get on track with this. Sorry for the delay. There's a it's been rough. But we're going to get through it because that's what we do. Also, if anyone has any recommendations or requests for shows, let me know. I've got a couple already in the queue on what we're going to be doing. But I don't know the order and stuff of that nature. But we'll get to it. I'll just okay, that's there. I'm just checking a few things here. He's almost there. Almost. So any questions while we wait for PG Ty? Any suggestions, statements? Because obviously I want to get into it with him here, but a little off today. Oh my god, I'm really dragging. So the hardest part, I can talk about this. The hardest part of the Philippines. Oh. So I went to Luzon, the island, the main island. I was based in Manila, but I went to Antipalo. I went to Paras Rizal, the birthplace of Sikran. Met with the mayors and the vice mayors. We're going to be talking, stuff like that. Went down to Batangas for a day and came back the same day. It was about 5 hours of driving. Visited the FMA Festival. We'll get into that. Oh, how much? How much sword and how much sword and knife work are in modern Ernie's? You see, that's a tricky question. So I'll give you my answer. And not everyone is going to agree with me, but I really don't care. Because I'm going to base this on my experience, depending on the era. It may change. First of all, when people ask us what weapons we do, my comment's always, yes, we do weapons. Anything we put in our hands, we should be able to utilize as a weapon. Hey, PG Ty, I'm answering a question right now.
Hey there.
How you doing, bro?
I'm trying to hear, but otherwise I think we're good.
Yeah. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Hello, Ty. Can you hear me? Wow, he's a really big face there.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
So, Sam asked a question. As we were just killing some time, how much sword and knife work is in modern Ernie? So the first thing I said to him is, well, like we ask all of our students, they go, hey, what weapons do we do? And the answer is, yes, we do weapons.
Right.
And did you get me a souvenir? No, didn't get you a souvenir. So with the concept of that any weapon could be part of what we do, traditionally, the art was, based on my experience, was a spadiadaga, if we talk the family art. So the palis was the core of what we did. But if you're talking about what professor taught on the norm versus the exception, it's single stick. That's the primary thing. And if you look at the original videotapes, all the palis was taught a spadiadaga at the time. So it's there, but it is not a heavy part. And like I said, anything you use is, you can make the art whatever you want it to be, because there's the formula and then the expression. So I look at martial arts as being a math formula. You change the values, you get a slightly different answer. You can do block check counter with a single stick. You can do block check counter with a double stick. You can do it stick and dagger or sword and dagger. You can do a double knife. You can do it staff, and you change up. So, but while Professor was in the States, the only thing he really did with the spadiadaga was going to be the cruzada flow drill and the palis. And I'm not saying he didn't have more. And some people from other eras may have said, oh no, he taught me a whole bunch of stuff. I trained with him consistently, or trained the art consistently since the early to mid 80s, all the way up until the time he passed away, let me rephrase. Mid 80s to 2000 with him, because in October of 2000, he was diagnosed with a brain tumor. All the way up till he stopped teaching due to his medical condition, I got to see that breadth, that years, and there's people before me, that saw a different era, but I got to see and be interactive with at least 15 years of evolution. And the spadiadaga was a small portion of that. But then again, I also went to seminars that he never picked up a weapon. It was all open hand combatives. And I bet you I'm probably, as far as people who are still training, I'm probably one of maybe that you can count on one hand that had been around when he's done stuff of that nature. I don't know many times that he's taught without picking up a stick. He did it in Buffalo when he came. Well, the first time I had him myself, he blew out the spot and we didn't have enough room to swing sticks.
Right.
And he had 4 hours of open hand combatives material to draw from. And as far as the prior to that, I'd been and saw some stuff there too. So, all right. So that is that. Answered that question. You have any things for that, Ty? What do you think?
No, I mean your what you described matches what I saw. I think I saw him once do a whole seminar without weapons, but
Yeah, I don't think it's many
yeah.
of us out there. And listen to what I said. A whole seminar. I'm not saying that he didn't
Right.
do open hand combatives.
Right. Oh, he loved that.
Yeah, you know, and the problem here, and this is one of the things I always talk about. Most of the people that come up are byproducts of the art within your art, which they pick and choose of his material. Now, I'm not going to say I'd teach every single technique he's ever taught, but I teach every department of material he taught. I don't choose not to do the forms because I don't want to do forms. I don't choose not to do Sinwalis because I don't like Sinwalis. By the way, I love Sinwalis. I don't choose not to do tappy tappy, although I did shy away from it because when everyone was teaching tappy tappy, it's really because that's all they had, and I want to show them more diversity of the art. If we go to an event and there's five people teaching alongside of me, and 5 are going to teach tappy tappy, and then be judged by each other's teaching ability, I can teach a whole nother department and look good at doing it. You know, not that I'm afraid of my technique not standing up. I mean, you know, most people out there I started long before, and I specialized in the art. It's just that I wanted to show the diversity of the art, you know. And, you know, most of the people who learned the art learned it as a stick system, a stick augmentation to the primary open hand system. So I want to hit my rant. It gives us a little reboot moment or regrouping moment. So I made a comment the other day, and it's actually I think it was we were on Dean's show, or I was on Dean's. We were on Dean's show recently, right?
Well, yeah, before you left, right?
Yeah, and then I hopped on Dean's show on the way back in the airport.
Oh, okay.
But I made a comment about I saw some people are doing some video footage out there, which I think some like the Mots, not the Mots themselves, but their students, the IMF people, are starting to put out videos. And I made a comment, hey, you know, yeah, I think it's good that they're putting stuff out there. And I wasn't going to go down the path of commenting on their execution. I'm a snob. I'll be the first to admit it. And I've got a high level of expectation. So I'm not going to diagnose that. My comment was basically, I just wish they had better video production.
Okay.
Someone made a comment saying, hey, well, you know, that can hide the technique. And when I want to just address that, even though it wasn't on this show. My issue is not editing the videos. My issue is that they need to have better audio. They need to have better lighting, stuff of that nature. You know, if you're going to go through all that trouble of filming stuff, let's put our best foot forward. There are inexpensive. I have a boom mic on my camera there that I plug in. There's a bunch of little things you can do to make it better. If you got bad acoustics, and maybe we should do a show on this, how to do your podcast better, how to do your not podcast, but any of your social media stuff better. You know, I make my own soundboards. I'm very fortunate. My school was a banquet hall, and it has 70s carpets on the wall.
Right.
Which actually doesn't look as bad as you would think it would sound, but it absorbs the echo, the reverberation. The problem when you go to a lot of karate or taekwondo schools, all 4 walls are white painted, and it doesn't absorb sound; it reflects it. So things that you could do is if you're in a room and you've got a bad echo, hang up tapestries, or if you're just trying to. So one of my students does music, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. Do you have any comforters? Yeah, put a couple chairs there, lay the comforters over top of it. It'll help absorb it." You go, "Wow, that actually made a big difference." You know, bodies in the room absorb sound. But like when you're in a gymnasium, that's nothing but hard surfaces everywhere, and it's just terrible echo. So, but I made a comment of that nature, and the person focused assumed what I was saying was let's do video production, fade in, fade out, and all this other stuff. When I was saying, and I should have been more specific. Let's do better lighting. Let's do better sound, so people understand what you're saying. But I like what they're doing. I like the fact that they're doing, because here's the thing: a rising tide raises all ships. So the more of us that are promoting Modern Art and East on social media like Instagram and Facebook and putting out videos, the better it helps all of us. But here's what I don't like. Here's my rant. Stop doing it on Remy's videos. I see all these people, and I'll be the first to admit that I'm jealous. I have very few videos out there with me and Professor. But the Lost one, the Sinwali boxing one that Remy Jr. put out recently, about a year ago, it's got 10,000 views on his page. It surpassed all these other videos out there. So it's one of the most popular videos. So one of the most popular videos on his channel is me and Bobby Sullen and stuff doing Sinwali boxing with Remy. So I'm really happy about that. But I always go, oh, look how many views my videos have. No, you are using Remy's stock footage from a video, which could be questionably how legal it is to take that copyright material, cut it up, and do it. But the fact of the matter here is this: no one's watching you, because when you watch Professor, it's him doing the techniques. Ty and I know somebody was saying, oh, look, my video hit 1 million views. Okay, yeah, but they were watching your teacher. They weren't watching you. What I'd like to see people do, like Bruce Chu, his content, it's old. He hasn't put out much new content himself, but it's all on him. You watch him do stuff, it's him and his students. It's not him and Professor. So, of course, any video that Professor's on, I want it to have 1 million views.
Right.
Because that just shows our teacher to the world. But if a video I was in with Professor had 1 million views, I'd be excited about that. But I wouldn't get twisted, because I know everyone was looking at him, not me. Well, they're watching me being thrown around.
Right.
They might be cheering him on. Get him more, Remy, give me more. But the fact of the matter here is that I'm the focal point. They're watching me getting slammed. They're not watching me doing technique. So when I see all these people putting up footage with them and Remy, okay, I don't know how many times you could post the same stuff. So now post stuff of you doing it. And that's one good, the thing, like I'm very proud of my body of work. I'm proud of, Ty should be proud of his body of work, because we put out a bunch of videos that have had tens of thousands, not any one particular video, but we look at all of our videos. We have tens of thousands of views on our videos, collectively, of all of our videos individually here. And it's done on us with our students, which I think is badass. Of course, Remy should have 10,000 views.
Right.
But when I get 10,000 views of something, that is really cool. Because it says I've done stuff. If that's, I don't even know if 10,000 is the number. I'm just using it.
I hadn't even checked that.
So I'm going to go look at my channel while I'm talking to you here.
Right.
So, but how you doing, Ty? I haven't talked to you in a long time.
Yeah, no, between the break and then you're being over there, and then I'm back at work. I think I'm dug out, which is good.
How's your legs?
Legs good. It's still better than it was the same position. Now it's exactly the 1 month and 1 day mark. Or sorry, 2 months and 1 day mark. And it's better than the other one was, which was already doing great.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. Good stuff. I was squatting today, actually.
Oh, great.
Yep.
Yeah, I just I went back to the the physio today, and he's when I go back in Wednesday, he's going to give me the numbers of how they compared to where I was at.
Okay.
But I felt so strong in the Philippines.
Excellent.
And I think the weather had a lot to do with it. But we're going to talk about some things. Carl says hello. Hey, look at that.
Right.
Hey, Carl, I'll see you tomorrow during class. Carl has been coming to my virtual classes on a regular basis.
Excellent.
2 times a week on average. he must be listening to the fact that I told him he needs to step up and get ready for his test. So
Nice.
So
Up north.
you're here. I needed you here because, well, this is an interview thing. And
Yeah, I want to see how I did. I wanted to see how you're going. I just I can't stand daylight savings time. It's messing me up at work, and then I get home later, and then I forget what I'm doing. Threw me off all over the place.
I hear you. I hear you. This trip has been really rough.
Oh yeah, that's even
I,
worse probably.
I got back at like 2 a.m. on Wednesday,
Mhm.
and then Thursday at 3:30 in the morning, I got up to go to Orlando.
Crazy.
So hold on one second here. Can you say something for me?
Something.
Oh my! I'm trying to get over on this one.
Ah.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. So So my computer at home, which is a new strong computer for those, and I got multiple screens and stuff. It doesn't have external speakers, so I've got one in the monitor, which is terrible, and I use my UE boom.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I didn't have it on; it disengaged. So now we're all good. What is that time? Oh, is that your software you're using?
Yeah, I got a new camera.
Oh, how's that? You like it?
I think I like it. I was gonna say, hopefully it's a better resolution and better on the light darks.
I don't know if it's better or not.
Okay.
But
I can change this.
we got better lighting than I got a. See, that's good. Yeah,
there we go. How's that?
I got a chandelier here that we're going to be swapping out because this used to be. Oh, that's a little too much there. Too much tie.
That's right.
So I'm trying to still dial in some things here, but yeah. So those are my rants. So Ty, it's up to you to start grilling me.
Well, so actually, let's get back on track here. So, you were at the Philippines. First off, what all was your intent over there, and what all did you sort of kind of scope? What was the scope?
Okay, so I did not go over there to be part of the FMA festival, although I did visit. Oh my God, knucklehead is just being a knucklehead. Of
course, interviewing it as well.
And he was fine up until now.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, go get mama. Go throw mama from the train. So, man, that guy's red face is annoying me, Ty. Because when you do that, you get a little guy's head over.
Yeah, I probably can turn that off. I'm not used to it at all.
All right, I'm gonna open up the door and let him in.
There you go. Good. I will play with this thing for a second. Not happy with the glare. There we go. Take that off.
Oh, that's I think your hair.
Somewhere in there.
All right, buddy. You can come in here, but I'm not coming out.
No, I don't want that.
Okay. All right, I'm back.
All right.
So I went there to see the aftermath of COVID.
Right.
And we're doing our Philippines camp in 2020. Actually, there's a lot of things happening in 2025, but we're doing our Philippines camp in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
The pension is still there.
Good.
And we can have the new building if we want it, which gives us the courtyards and stuff like that to train out of.
Okay. You said you went there. Was there anybody you remember or remembered us? You?
Yes.
Oh, good.
A whole bunch of people recognize. I walked in. I didn't say so. Okay, so I stayed at the Heritage in Passaic by the Asian Mall.
Mm.
The reason why I did that is that I was inducted into two groups. One is the Bayanahan FMA Heroes, and Michael says, "Good to hear about your life, guy."
Yeah, did you meet up with him at all? Anyway.
Oh yeah. No. Actually, there's some. You and I'll talk afterwards.
All right, good.
We had some good stuff going on. Him and his guy gave him some places to go to look for some stick bags and stuff like that, and blah blah blah. And then everyone picked up some stick bags from Ronnie, Actually, he's got a new stick bag out, and I got some new ones. Oh yeah, so there's the basic one we've always gotten.
Mm.
Then there's the extra large ones, and then the Goliath. He's got a over the shoulder one now.
Okay.
So I ordered 3 bags, and I said the small ones I was supposed to be the other ones, the middle ones. So we have the over the shoulder.
Okay.
Other people worked with it, and then Mike said it was a cool bag. Yep. I think that was a great event. Then there was the other events. So what I'm going to sit there and say, heads up, when you're dealing with Filipinos, actually, when you're dealing with people from other countries, double, triple, quadruple check all your information, because there was a lot of miscues this whole trip. This whole trip, I had a whole bunch of headaches. And as an example, I'll give you an easy one. I have a person who does blades for me. So I went to see her. Oh, just get a Grab. Grab is their taxi. Is there Uber? Unfortunately, Grabs have regions.
Oh.
Yes, and hey, Rich.
Hey, Rich.
And they don't switch regions.
They don't cross them. Okay.
No, don't cross the streams, just like in Ghostbusters, but different. So I'm waiting. I'm stuck. I was going to go first thing in the morning up to Pampanga. Going to get a Grab, and I can't get a Grab. Fortunately, the hotel, love the pension. They reached out and they found Greg, our old driver.
Oh, wow.
And he took me. Well, actually, he took me to Batangas, but that was the day after. But they had a contact that just never driven that far. They only usually just go back and forth to the airport. They found someone who's willing to go, and one of the employees said, "Hey, can you send one of the employees with me?" Sure. And they drove me together. So I paid the employee some money too.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it cost me like 3,500 pesos. Like I gave 500 to the guy who rode shotgun. It was like 3,000 pesos for the driver back and forth.
Okay.
But it was the pension that took care of me.
Yep.
So I had a bunch of miscues like that really threw my day off. When I went to Baras Rizal to go to Secret headquarters, I took a Grab out there. It messed up the whole trip because it didn't put me in the right region. So my driver went above and beyond. I took care of him. He was ecstatic on how much money I gave him. I mean, I didn't because he got the full fare, which is like 2,000 pesos.
Okay.
And then I gave him another 2,000 on top of that. Now, so just for everybody, $10 is 500 pesos. Quick math. So I gave him an extra $40, and he was ecstatic.
Sure.
So Daddy Warbucks. The pension's a real nice place. The pension is not okay. It is okay. So the Peace Corps stays there, which they still do. It is not a high-end hotel. Okay.
Right.
Very basic. A lot of people would look down on it. I think it's only got 2.5 stars.
It's more of maybe a locals hotel, maybe.
Yeah. And I don't mind it because it's the atmosphere and the people looking out for me. But I got bummed out. They don't do a laundry service, so I had to walk down the road.
Oh, they stopped doing that?
Yeah, and they also don't have the masseuses coming in.
Okay.
So I would have to go to a place, and I'm like, I didn't want to go.
Right.
I liked it when it came to me. I don't like going places. One was right by the mall. They actually recommended it highly, but I'm like, yeah, no, I got pampered. I like going in my room. So, but now like so for those who haven't gone, the Pension Hotel, it's a great hotel. If you're going to be going as an adult looking for adult activities, that is not the hotel for you. They do not allow girlfriends to come in or anything like that.
Right.
It's a gated community or a gated hotel. I was there when an American, hey, can I bring my girlfriend? And they just said, no, you cannot. It was a guy who just was looking for one night stay, hook up with somebody. I mean, that's not. I love the people. The location was nice. The courtyard was fun to train in. Yep.
Yep. Yep.
So I had some issues. I changed my trips around. They took extra care. Actually, I booked my room via Orbitz initially. So basically, here's how the trip went, and then I can go over different aspects. I spent 3 days. I landed Friday.
Mm.
I went to the Heritage, and then I visited over at Bambit's event, his Prace's Legacy, and then on Sunday, I was inducted into the Punong Guro Association. Sunday night, the Heroes of FMA. Monday morning, I went to Bras Rizal for 2 days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I went to Antipalo. From Antipalo, went to Manila and went to Malate.
Okay.
Stayed there. Went up to Pampanga the next day. Thursday, went down for the day to Batangas and came right back up. Stayed there. Saturday, I flew to Negros Occidental, and then Monday flew back, and then Sunday flew home.
Wow.
You gotta be
Roaming all over the place.
Well, so why did I do all that? So first
Right.
of all, I am securing our training camp because we were supposed to do a training camp. I didn't know. Okay, hold on.
Right. Well, yeah, we got the training camp coming up. We need to make sure that the everything's all as we thought it was, or we know what we need to do for the training camp. Make sure it's goes well. Had some initial plans, right? But you never know that those changed after all the COVID stuff, or just after the time, right? Because we skipped a couple of years there. So, got it. Any questions anybody wants to ask as well? You should as well. I'm going to ask him about highlights here in a second.
So we're doing our Philippines training camp February of 2025.
Yep.
So we're going to be talking about that regularly here. Just to remind people. Let me see here. So that event I like because we're going to travel. We're going to see a bunch of people. We're going to do day trips. I haven't decided everywhere we're going yet. But,
and it'll be about how long again? It's still gonna be 9-ish days.
I'm pulling it up right now. So we are probably staying longer, but officially it is the 22nd through the 28th, February 22nd through 28th of 2025.
Okay.
So let me get there.
I think I have actually
pushed it back a little more.
Two of my people are interested, I think, in addition to me. So that'll be 3, maybe, if we can get that all to work.
Yeah. So that is Saturday the 22nd
of February
to Friday the 28th.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
So usually people fly in, they get there Thursday or Friday. But officially our activities will start on the 22nd. We'll probably go to Quiapo and do some shopping there.
Mm-hmm.
Stick bags, if not picking them up, at least ordering them. I have a vendor, our blade person will come with blades to us, which will be good. Why did I get congrats, Tim Hartman, to a video that has nothing to do with me? Picture is nothing. So people were training. Okay. So, yeah. So, but we will be bringing people to that. So it will be a fun event. We've gone there quite a bit. I gotta let me look at this real quick here. I'm trying to figure out why my photo. Someone's tagged me in something. They say congratulations. Yeah, no, someone's got that wrong. Someone from it was from the Philippines trip.
Okay.
Like, I'm not in the photo. Don't tag me in the photo because I don't want this stuff occupying my Facebook. So for everybody out there, if you want me to advertise something, talk to me about it. Don't tag me in stuff that I'm not in, because you might get blocked. Even a few of my friends have come real close to going, you got to stop this shit. Yeah, if I'm not in it, you shouldn't be tagging me. You want to make a comment to me or something like that, send me something, that's fine. That's what Facebook Messenger is all about. Yeah. I'm working on, I've invited Jade Gahe to be on our show.
Oh, nice. Okay.
The daughter of Leo Gahe.
Yeah.
I got to spend some time with her.
At one of the events, or
she was at the the Heroes of FMA.
Okay.
I am working on this right now.
Nice.
Share this. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Share. Can you see that?
No. There we go. Yeah. No, there we go. Okay. Very good.
Yeah. So that's me wearing my cool ass barong.
Right.
With Andy Elliott showed up with the exact same barong.
I saw the picture of the two of you.
Yeah, like, you bastard. He goes, yeah, but I was inducted first, so you copied me. I go, screw you. I bumped into Dan Lohman in the middle of Makate.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I'm glad to have you back. There we go. Voice in the crowd. February 22nd through 28th. Yep. So if you go to the organizational, actually, what I'll just do is this. Okay, I will share this to everybody. Here's the camp. Boom, shakalaka.
There you go.
There's the link. Takes to the website. Goes all over the place.
And that's open to.
Oh, it says errors occurred. I don't know why the other ones it didn't pop up.
Uh-oh.
Let's open up to anybody who wants to come along.
Excellent.
It is. So what's going to happen is that it's okay. It is the WMA event, which means there's going to be WMA people teaching, myself and
those guys.
Those guys, and Ty might be sharing, and other people might be sharing. And did you stop in Lynetta? Yes, we did. We stopped in.
Of course.
I should say we. It's me. We meaning me. Yes. Lynetta is not what it used to be. A lot of people left.
Oh, okay. I saw a little bit of that in some pictures, but I wasn't sure.
I didn't get to go do. Okay, so I didn't get to do Lynetta at night, so I don't know what's going on at night.
Right.
During the day, it's pretty much just Rodell.
Okay. Wow.
Arnold's in a different park.
Oh,
Arnold's not far away. So Lynetta Park got shut down during COVID, and some people relocated and never went back.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, that one-stop shop is no longer there where you can just bump into everybody.
That was cool. Okay. That's too bad.
Yeah. So Roger was there, the guy with the
Roger GM Solar.
No, well, not Solar. Not Roger Solar.
Okay. Oh, okay.
The guy with the
okay. Right. GM Roger. Yep, got it. Cool. So he's doing good. Excellent.
Arnold just moved back. Oh, great.
Okay. Maybe the same location. It seemed to be his spot.
Is he back to his old spot? We'll find out.
Yeah. Nice.
That's good. Yeah. So evidently Henry no longer teaches.
Okay.
I don't know where Izagani's teaching out of.
And Lacan Rani, he's somewhere else too?
Yeah, he's at CCP, whatever that is.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, his old spot. Okay. Excellent. So
so now there's two.
Okay.
Good.
Two of some of my favorites. So there you go. I'm happy.
Love both those guys. Love both those guys.
Yep.
It was great to see him over at Bobby's birthday camp too.
Nice. Yep.
Yeah. So I had a lot of good things. Like when I went to Bras, the birthplace of we're told that.
Yep.
um the birthplace of Sikaran. You know, it was a foot fighting system from the 1500s, but it was organized by Geronimo in 1957. But I got to, I think I stayed in his room. I actually stayed in his old bedroom.
Okay.
Janeth, his daughter, was in there, and her daughter, and I got to go to headquarters. I went to the original camp. I got to see some old photos because there were some secret statues that got torn down, which
Oh.
is I
Hmm.
didn't get the whole story, but got to see my little sister Alanis. I don't she does a lot. Oh my god, she's doing everything. She's playing volleyball, she's playing basketball, she's doing traditional dancing, she's doing a shitload of TikTok.
Okay.
And she and I traded some things technique wise.
Nice.
And I gave them some things because if they do the secret on the way if Seekron is good in their rule set, but if they use that same strategy in the open tournaments, they will not do well. Because a lot of times what they do, because it's kicking only, they'll actually get so close to each other, like body checking each other.
Right.
To get rid of the kicks. Okay, that's fine when all you're doing is kicking, but
Right.
when I can just back fist you, reverse punch, and something like that, I did not go to the Kuntao, and there's a couple reasons why. Grandmaster Unyo is near Subic Bay. His location has changed. Or when I saw him in Cavite, he was visiting because we were doing the filming of the show and stuff like that.
That's right. Yes. Yep.
So I don't know if he visited the club there or if that was his club at the time, but he was like 2-3 hours north of Manila. And that just wasn't going to happen. It's just too far out of the way, What's up, Eight Eyes? What's up, Eight Eyes? Renee. Aren't you still doing a show with Dean? Obviously not. I missed you, Ty. Okay, yeah, he missed you.
There you go.
There you go.
Likewise, Renee.
Yeah. Hey, did you get my note about June 8th?
Yeah, I couldn't tell if you were joking or not.
I'm serious because everyone's saying the last 2 weekends of April. Well,
right.
April's art camp,
right?
And the last week and the weekend before that is Terry's.
And May's all full.
May's all full. That's why I said June is still considered spring.
I've done it once in June before.
Yeah,
I've been struggling with motivation. That's the problem. And then the break.
I could do it myself. I'd be there if you did it then. But and I'm just saying because you really haven't worked on getting it together. So just throwing that out there.
Yep. Hip job break. Yep. I'm just gonna regrouping here.
I got it. Let me do my ting here. Here we go. Boom. So.
Yes. Good. Okay.
So the one on the left is the second Bayanihan. That is for the heroes of FMA, movers and shakers in the FMA industry. The right was the Mataguru group, and only one person per style is inducted into that. Now, Arnold, and one of the reasons why I accepted the nomination to this, Arnold Narzo and Rodel Guck are part of it.
Oh, nice.
Which tells me something right there.
Good company, yes.
Yes. I was a little apprehensive at first, but then I vetted it a little. I'm like, okay, you know what? These are good people that are affiliated with it. So, and the big thing was, like I said, they said one person per style. So,
okay. Nice. Okay.
And then, and I'll tell you about how they almost was an exception to that afterwards, but they realized where their mistake was made. So, I agreed with the with their justification for what they were going to do, but it wouldn't have come across that way because you and I know the difference between someone who's doing modern versus someone who's claiming to do modern, but actually are doing all these other arts, which should be a giveaway who I'm talking about. But yeah, no, I those two events right there, phenomenal. They did a uniform for me.
Was it just a ceremony or was it some training or?
It was a ceremony. They had me do demonstrations, so I did.
Okay.
Which I got to download stuff again, but
And we know you're not, you don't consider yourself a demo guy, so you probably just did your work.
I did Carenza, and then afterwards they asked how old I was. They're like,
ask you in May.
I've got a good Carenza. Yeah, so I've got all these messages coming in.
Must be personal ones. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, I'm like, what's going on? Windows are popping up left and right. So, yeah, I like those two events. It was done very well.
Okay.
Thank you. Like I said, it was nice to get the acknowledgement. When I was inducted to the Heroes of FMA, Senator Zamiri was there. So that was nice. I got to meet him. He was mentioning, I've read a lot about you. I'm like, you just
okay. That's cool.
When I was in Baras, Rizal, I met with the mayor and the vice mayor because of Jesus Christ. Give me a second here.
All right. Oh, that's pretty cool. So
I met with the mayor and the vice mayor and to help talk about getting sponsorship for the Philippines team coming to the World Championships.
Okay.
That I'll be hosting in
right.
IPG. And then so that was good. And I actually ended up doing a lot of consulting for the World Seeker Brotherhood, including finding out and saying we should educate people that it's really not the World Seeker Brotherhood.
Okay.
It is World Seeker and Katapunan. And the word that translates the closest to it is brotherhood, but it means more than male or female.
Community
and brotherhood was the closest thing at the time. Remember, the art was organized in 57. Okay. So when they came up with the American version of it or of the organization, that was the closest thing they could find. Now, this is pre-computers,
Right. Well, I mean, it makes sense because even the word he is the same word as she, so it makes sense that it would be more more generalized. So that's good. Yeah. Because that has come up before. If you guys are paying attention on, I don't know which episode it was, but maybe a couple. People get twisted. But so yeah, inclusive kind of cohort.
Yeah. So and the words we use in the past may no longer be as relevant today. Like brotherhood was a much more inclusive term back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, he and she, it's the same term. It's just a generic, so, and then like when Remy would call me Anak was not son. It was, what isn't it more,
child? It's often, child, yeah.
Yeah, it's
kids,
not.
Yeah, but if they want to say son, they'll say anak na lalaki, right?
Yeah, you just say anak, boom, done.
But yeah, short is just kid. You're my kid. Yep.
Yeah, my child. So he could have called any of the girls the same thing.
Yep.
So, and I think when we translate things, I said, well, listen, what we should, because so I'm talking to Geronimo's granddaughter, and we're sitting at a table about this. He goes, when I first got this, hey, Craig, I heard this. I got a little twisted. I go, well, you know what?
Hey, great.
I think you should make it part of the education to say, really, this is not what it translates to. The word doesn't have a male or female connotation to it, but when we did it, the word brotherhood fit.
Yeah, there's sibling is a generic term for that, but siblinghood doesn't really translate. So yeah.
Right. And that's it. So and as like I said, terms that were used back in the day are no longer as, they're a little more exclusion. I don't, I think people sweat it too much. Let's do, of course you're a guy, you don't give a shit. You're right, I don't. Because I don't look into it, gets back to we'll go the pronoun thing just for a moment here. If I address someone as Mr. or Miss and they got twisted on this, that's on them, because if they really get down to the crux of what I was doing, I was trying to show them respect.
Right.
Now, if they don't identify it, they could listen, we've been doing the pronoun thing forever and a day in martial arts.
Right.
Sensei. No, I'm not a sensei. I'm a guru. Okay, guru. No, I'm a Punong Guro. And people get all twisted about this, that, and the other thing. I go, I've seen martial artists go crazy because they were called the wrong term. And literally, they didn't identify that way. I don't identify as a Sifu. I'm a Sabanin or fill in the blank. So this whole, personally, I've always been like, guys, call everyone Mr. or Miss, because if they can't understand in our society that you're attempting to show them respect, and then they can politely correct, oh, I appreciate that. The technical term would be master or kyoshi or hanshi or whatever. And the same thing with like for people who identify, I say, hey, listen, I appreciate it. I actually identify as a them, which I would never identify anyone as a them, because that's still a plural to me, the way I've been brought up. But I would sit there and go, my thing would be, but you can call me Tim. You see, and that just avoids the whole thing. They're like, hey, blah, blah, blah. What's your name? Okay. Jake, nice to meet you. So, but that's my little side rant at the moment. But unfortunately, and I'm going to actually talk to, well, I said, we were talking about a whole bunch of things. So we had a lot of good stuff going on. I got my card finally. And check this out.
Oh, great. Okay.
I've been meaning to do this. It's been a while coming. I got my ID card.
Can't hardly read it. Yeah.
It says Tim Hartman.
No, but Sticker on International. Okay.
Yeah, I got my second degree. Yay.
Excellent.
Well, no, wait.
So
I've been a second degree.
You had to do 1,000 Biyakid?
No, I've been a second degree. I just never had the.
I've been promised. Demo.
I've been. Oh no, I actually. I did it. Well, actually, I did a demo for them. I taught them a stick form, and then I actually did some sparring with them, and I kind of lit a bunch of people up.
Nice.
Well, as kids, I was like, all right, I'm like Kramer, king of the dojo. But no, I was trying to explain to them what would happen if they played our game.
Right.
And I want them to look, I don't want them to do bad. I don't want them to come halfway across. See, that's why in certain groups we're going to have open fighting, and then they'll have specifically for 18 and over a specific Seek-Around division.
Okay.
But we also want the Seek-Around team to be one of the demo teams to open up the show.
Nice.
So
it sounds like they have rules a little bit similar to the old, maybe I'm dating myself now, but the old WTF rules with the legs and the.
Yeah. It could be, but it's weird how they do it, because here's the thing. Seek-Around loads up short range. They don't do long range loads.
Okay.
So with Taekwondo, you can still have that safe distance.
Some closing that has
just
to
think about people. Yeah. Okay. Hey, this is terrible. This is completely wrong. But envision doing the sumo belly bucking kind of thing, where you're like, like those suits that you'd wear,
right?
And it'd be chest to chest, and then throwing kicks from that range.
Yeah. One of my old students could kick like that.
Yeah,
it's creepy.
So they're amazing. The kicks that they can hit at that short range. It's just real amazing. But yeah, so but I had a good time with that. You know, it was good. We were sharing. I went to headquarters. I got to go to the camp, which was really fun.
You said the original camp, right?
The original camp. Yep, went around
Where?
there. So that's in Baras Rizal.
Okay.
And then while I was in the mayor's office, or town hall, someone mentioned that another city was trying to claim that they were the originator of the art. And they're like, no. So the government is all over that shit. They're like, no, you are not. No, it was created here. Stop it. So the family was happy with that, you know. Janet Geronimo set everything up, which is great, you know. And then we met with the mayor and vice mayor of Baras, so that was good.
No, that's cool.
Yeah, you know, they were doing some land development thing. Next thing you know, they pulled us into it. Hey, come on out, hang out with us. And I got to meet this guy there and all this other stuff. And I found what I was looking for. Been looking for a whole bunch of things. Interesting. Oh, that's not what I was looking for, but that was similar to what I was looking for. Yeah. So, you know, it was good there. See, I had a bunch of issues, which I'm not going to get into a lot of them right now. Because I'm giving people an opportunity to try to fix some things.
Okay. Well, I was going to ask how some of the other events went as well. Even if there's any highlights you want to share about those, regardless of how it went overall.
Well, I went. Okay, so when I got there, I stopped by the Maddie camp, Masters or Monterey's Tappy Tappy. It was a 2-day recognition thing, and all the participants were being recognized as black belts in Prace's Legacy, with Roberto signing off on. Mixed feelings about that, seeing that Roberto is blind and deaf, but whatever. But I stopped by that for the first day. And then I did stop by the Batangas for one day of the FMA festival. And you know, I'm going to say on both of those events, there was some communication issues.
Okay.
And when you're dealing with people from other countries, you must triple and quadruple check things.
Oh, definitely, yes.
And I crossed all my T's and dotted all my I's, and I was on point. Unfortunately, not everyone else was at that same level of accuracy of things that were going on and checking themselves, and that's where things went kind of sideways.
Okay. But that you said that it was the second one, a festival where you met Michael?
Michael and I actually we were staying in the same hotel.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, like, you know,
that's cool.
We bumped into each other in the lobby.
That's
actually,
cool.
He was messaging me once I got it. Hey Tim, you know, where are you at?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. No, I always enjoy visiting Guro Michael and his people.
Yeah.
And everybody when I'm out there. Although I'm not traveling as much lately, so oh well. Sorry, Michael.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, you know, it was good hanging out with Mike. I bumped into some other people, like I said, Dan Lohman in the streets.
True. Yep.
I bumped into Andy Elliott in a bar
with the same shirt. Is that what?
We weren't wearing the same shirt that night.
Oh, okay, all right.
But I mean, like, we were just. I mean, like, I'm in Makate at a random place having drinks, and there's Andy Elliott and his crew.
Nice.
I mean, what are the odds on that? You know, and then I'm waiting for my grab, and all of a sudden, the guy walks up. Hey, Tim, Dan, what are you doing here? Dan Lohman.
Nice.
So he was there for work.
See any of our other old friends from some of the characters doing different things? run into any of them, including the tall, skinny one or whoever?
They were. Yeah, he was there.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
I forget his name. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to say the nickname.
Yeah. 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 So, what the hell is this? Yeah, weird stuff happening. Okay.
Well, that's
Yeah,
cool.
I had a good time.
Good.
There was some problems.
And then you're major that you're. I know you're not saying details and stuff, but logistics and communication is what it boiled down to. A lot of times, anyway.
That'll be off the air comments.
All right. All right.
Let's put it
Well,
this way.
you know what I say about people.
Yeah, you're right. And I'm going to tell you this. There was some bonehead plays, and I would have never made those mistakes. I am very particular on how I treat people and how things are done. And I would have never let certain things happen.
Gotcha.
So, and yeah, that's
all right.
That's probably the best way to put it, because I am very, okay, no one has problems with the events I run. They're up front. Now, you might have people that come by and they're like, hey, I'm not a fan of Filipino martial arts. Great. I'm not a fan of Silat. No problem. Gotcha. But no one can complain on how well I run these events. There's always customer satisfaction. When it comes to customer service, we're above board. We go the extra mile, and so I would just say that I was surprised, especially with Filipinos having a reputation for going above and beyond, especially with the experience I had at the hotels and stuff like that.
Right.
I was shocked that these events didn't try to have that same level of customer service. And if they did try, they came up severely short of the mark.
Well, let's just give another. Let's go take a step back. So, you went to, what is it now? 4 happenings or more, right? Anyways, lots of. If you put those, how many people were each of those? Just for curiosity's sake, I'm trying to get a feel for how active, because that's a lot of events in a few days. And then if there was a lot of people, even if there's that many and there's dozens of people, that's still pretty awesome.
Well, the Tappy thing had 150 people.
Okay, great.
Ish. But here's the thing. It's just, they're all like the same event. So there's the FMA festival. So while the FMA festival is happening, or prior to it, Babbitt runs an event ahead of time.
Right.
So he gets to capitalize on that other event.
Yeah, if you're coming, you might as well do both events. Yeah, got it.
And then Rene Tongson did his Abanico Tres Puntos event on the tail end of that.
Right.
And then Peachy did the FMA Heroes event. So, I mean, they're all working. And there definitely, each event's had people that didn't go to all 3 of them.
Okay. There was a fair, you're saying there's a fair amount of overlap,
I would say
a lot
over 50% did all the events.
Okay. Well, and that's also good too, right? Because of that exposure and support for that many things. So that's cool.
And I think some of the people got sloppy when it came to hosting because they were just working off the synergy and not worrying about doing what they should have been doing.
I was going to say, doing that, and then if it really was going to be a synergy, there'd be a lot of coordination that would have to happen. Ideally,
they made sure that there was no overlap.
They
just that some people dropped the ball in a major way. So
yeah, well,
and it is like I said, I don't want to go down too much into it right now. Because I'm giving people opportunity to do the right thing, and if they don't, well, then I'll be a little more upfront about some of the things that happen.
Okay. Well, we'll tag back later then.
Is that a threat? No, it's just telling you what's going to happen.
Right. Right. I have a saying is, if someone tells you who they are, you should listen.
Yeah. Oh, we'll, and like I said, you and I will talk offline on this. So,
Yep. Gotcha.
but
anyway, it sounds like there's a lot of positive stuff in for your generic person, and also you had a good time as well. So this is good stuff.
when all the stuff that I planned on my own, no problems. Everything was great the way it was supposed to be.
Excellent. And we touch base. I'm happy that you touch base again with the pension because I was hoping. So that's good.
Yeah. So Mike Millinger and Eric Davis, those are the two that were.
Eric's awesome as well. Yep.
Yeah, I liked Eric a lot. So, but I said I had a good time at the Bayani Han. And I had a good time being inducted as the only modern Ernest person into the Mato. It's actually
it's a big long name.
Manga Saling, but it's a Mato Guro Association.
Right.
And I was the guy that was inducted into represent modern East, which I think is awesome.
It is.
So I was very honored. And that's what I mean by awesome. It's like I was honored, Brought back some equipment, so I got some of that stuff. So we got a new vendor. And I want to reiterate a couple of things I want to say. First of all, when people say TSA does not let weapons on the plane, know what you're talking about. Rich says PAD.
That's my saying. Yep.
All right.
You got it, Rich.
People are not careful, and people are sloppy with their words.
Mm-hmm.
Ty and I were talking about this. Ty actually brought this up to my attention on how there's some people who are doing something similar to what we do, but different. And they were very sloppy with their language.
Mm.
You know that round table?
Drawing a blank.
BZ?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So very sloppy with the stuff. I am very, very specific. And the reason is that there are a couple of reasons. One of which is that I've been held at this level of accountability. So I want to be as specific as possible so people know where I'm coming from. Secondly, I've worked in multiple industries, where close was not good enough.
Right.
Okay. I worked in the automotive industry. When it came to parts, being off by one number could be fatal to someone's health.
Yep.
Okay. So I am when, if there's a problem with the car, using that as an example, because I worked in the automotive industry, I would start asking questions like, Janice's kid had the vehicle and something happened with it. I started asking questions and it's like, do you think I'm dumb? Okay. Yes. Because you're not listening. I am asking, I'm doing a diagnosis. I'm going through the checklist. When you call a tech line and the person asks you, is your computer plugged in or not? Is it turned off or on? It's because people have told them having problems and they didn't turn the computer on or they weren't near it or all this other stuff. So they're asking, personally, I would be there, go, listen, there's a list of questions I have to ask. By any chance, are you out of the house right now or are you still near the computer? Okay, great.
Right.
And it is turned on and everything, right? Okay, I just want to make sure because I've talked to some people where it wasn't. There's ways to ask these questions and be a little more. But when you're asking the question like 50, 60 times a day, I can see where you get a little crusty on that shit,
Right. It's just trust but verify a different way. It's not personal. It's not personal.
No, but I had the photo of all my swords I was bringing back and says, oh, TSA says you can't do that. Okay. TSA might tell you cannot carry it on. Did you ask if you could have the stuff checked? Or did you ask if I can bring that on the plane? Right. What do you mean? Because you can bring firearms on an airplane.
If you check and register and all that stuff, yep.
They need to be in a separate locked box declared at the check-in, and you need to check in your stuff.
Yep.
So when people say, "Oh, guns aren't allowed on airplanes," wrong. There's you can't carry it on in the normal way. You can't do concealed carry. That'd be great. But you can bring weapons on planes all you want, but there's a protocol you need to follow.
Right.
So I'm not going to call a person out if he's watching. He knows who he is.
Right.
You need to ask the specific questions. Can I check stuff in? And guys, like I had a knife like this on me. Actually, I didn't have it on me. I had it in my bag coming back from. Oh, and I'll talk about Negros.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
I'm coming home from Negros, Occidental, where Professor was born. I have a pocket knife in my bag, and the woman goes to me. She's like, "That bag, are you checking it in?" Yes, I am. I know it's in there. Yeah, like, and I had a pocket knife in there. Okay,
right.
So she, because she just wanted to make sure I got it right. Because hey, don't. It's just like, hey, take a bottle of water. You can't do that. So I am very specific about asking the questions because a lot of times people are sloppy with the questions. They don't know how to get the right. A lot of people, here's the thing. People are not capable of asking the proper questions to get the right answer. If you ask a vague question, you get a vague answer.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a specific question, if you want a specific answer, you have to be more specific with your questions. And a lot of times people don't get the right answers because they don't know how to phrase their question. And, and I've had, Ty was with me. Frank Schakowsky was on the show. He felt that I was interrogating him. Someone made a comment about it. We were at his school asking him questions. He flashed back and said the same thing. I'm like, I'm asking you questions because I'm about to give you my opinion. I need more information so I can give you the proper opinion on something. It's my process. Because a lot of times, well, I would just do this. Oh, well, what? Oh, I have this problem. Well, you didn't tell me that. So I try to get as much data first before I ask the question or before I give an answer, because I need to. Well, what do you mean by this? Well, first tell me a couple more things so I have all the details.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also, you're asking a question, sometimes not for just you, right? If you're doing an interview, right? There's a bunch of people out there that don't know necessarily all the things that you two might know together. So you've got to get it out there.
So I was on Dean's show.
Mm-hmm.
I was coming back from the Philippines. I was at a layover in Georgia, and Ty and Rich were on the show. And they're talking about stuff, and I go, "Hey, if you want, I can come on the show because I got like 4 hours here in the layover here. I'd love to, And so they put me on the show. Well, they talked about came up a comment. Well, Chris made a comment of they named Wally J named the successor. If you quit the organization, you're out of the art. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Yes. Okay. So Rich was here on this. So the comment was made, if you leave the organization, you're out of the art. And I'm like, no. Like, okay. And I said, Chris, do you think I still do the art? Yeah. Well, I left the organization. Well, that's not what I meant. Fine. I don't care what you meant. I'm talking about what you said.
Right.
And the words that came out of your mouth were, if you left the organization, you left the art. But like his father was not part of the IMAF. That he didn't leave the art. He was modern. He's just like all of us.
Yep.
Oh, and here's a side thing that was really kind of cool because of all the bullshit, talking about because it was about like, what if you weren't named the successor, but you, or whatever. It was one of those type comments.
Oh, was that the one where it was who should teach or something?
Rich, hey Rich, if you want to chime in, let me know. I'll send you a link.
Who should be permitted to teach or something like that?
Well, he was asked to carry on the art, but he wasn't named a successor.
No, I'm saying the subject of the talk.
That was one of those types of things. Okay, yeah, I'll Rich come in. Rich, let me send this to you right now.
Yeah, that'll teach everybody.
Yeah. In the meantime, I will.
We got enough screen to fit Rich. He's
because he's so
Oh.
damn tall.
He's a tall, big dude.
He's a big, tall glass of water.
Yep.
Rich, I sent it to you. I'm going to finish what I'm saying here in the meantime. Who was named successor? Well, it had to be me, I guess. So whatever.
He told me I was carrying on his art, so I assumed that he named me.
Yeah. So I went down to Negros, and they were officially doing the statue.
That's where I was going to go next. So yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So I'm going to actually pull this up. I was kind of like, and there was a little problem. There's a problem with it. Not a problem with it. Rich is here. I'll bring Rich in the mix here while I look this up.
I didn't see a good picture of the statue. At first, I couldn't quite recognize.
Well, I'm going to talk about that.
All right.
Can you hear us, Rich? Can you hear us,
Rich?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm having a difficulty hearing you. Hang on. How about now?
I can hear you, but can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yeah.
I got it. We're good.
Okay.
Just had an adjustment setting.
Okay. So I just want to talk about the statue first.
Of course. Go ahead.
And then we'll get into this. So I'm going to bring this photo up. And I forgot who said it to me, but it's like, the Filipinos love Jesus, so they make everything look like Jesus. So I'm like, oh, I never really thought of it that way. And, well, let me get rid of the banner. So I love Remy, but that's a wow, chicka, wow, wow.
That's a
Spanish mustache.
It is. I mean, it could be just a generic person. I don't see any distinguishing figures.
Long hair, and I think the pose is wrong.
Right. I don't see any distinguishing features.
But here's my thought. They put a statue up to recognize our teacher. So I can care less about the execution.
Yep.
So I mean, I'm ecstatic, and I was one of 2 Americans there. I did meet the mayor.
Yeah.
Now, here's where I'm going to say the negativity. I initially was wondering why more Americans weren't part of this.
Right.
And when I say Americans, I'm talking Remy students.
Yep.
Then it turns out that there wasn't many invitations sent out there. And I got to say, I wasn't invited to the event. I knew the event because we had the host on the event.
Right.
On the show. But Ty, did you get an invitation?
No.
And Rich didn't get an invitation. The Motts didn't get invitations. So when I made that comment about I was one of 2 Americans, I was not putting down the rest of America.
Right. It was more the invitation process and getting the word out and all that good stuff.
So this is some of the communications, including.
Do we know? Do I know the other person, or do you want to say? I'm not sure.
Oh, Ray D'Onaldo.
Oh, that's right. You did say Ray. Yeah.
So and nothing. And I like Ray.
Yeah.
But of all the representatives of Americans to be there, that could have been there, Ray was not as close to Remy compared to a lot of other people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ray was only a first-degree black belt through Remy. And I'm not saying that.
Right. He owes a lot to Remy, and he acknowledges that, but he's doing his thing, which is awesome. A lot of people love it. It's great.
Right.
Yep. That's too bad not more people knew about it, especially because there were people already over there. They could have slipped on over had they been invited or whatnot. Presumably some of them knew, but didn't
the family
know
wasn't invited.
Huh?
Family members weren't invited.
Really?
So
that's
I
weird.
talked to John. Okay, now.
Yeah.
I got John and I are butting heads because of something that someone else did.
Mm.
Okay. And it got to be that it was somebody else and it wasn't him. Okay. Gotcha. But I'm like, why aren't you here? Your uncle's here. Well, I wasn't invited. And I go, and neither was I, but I showed up. I mean, I was told, that didn't work out. Okay. I was told about the event. I mean, we were told about the event, and of course, I was going to stop over.
Right.
You know, if I was over there. What? Why is Rich on the official FMA discussion?
Well, he's
Love
got to
you.
make it. You're here to make it look distinguished, Rich.
Yeah.
No, looking good.
Where the hairy bookends, and he's got the
There you go.
guy in the middle.
Miss you. I miss you, brother.
I missed you.
So-
I did get your message, text. I'm not a phone person. Sorry, I never got back to you. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, good.
Okay.
So, Pleldar.
Who?
Pleldar Prasis or
Oh yeah, Plaridel.
Lardell.
Yeah.
He stopped by. I got a photo with him and me together.
Awesome. Very cool.
Renee says, I miss you too.
Yeah.
But I got to hang out with him and all this other stuff, but he didn't get an invite. There's a few people that didn't get an invite. So I think, so we shut up. So next year is the 25th anniversary of our organization. I'm going to be sending out emails to people to invite them to be there. Now, here's the thing. And then the year after is the memorial camp, and the year after that is the 70th anniversary of the art. I'll be inviting people. There's certain people I don't want them to set foot in my school. And if people have a question whether they should be there or not, and Renee said I meant Rich.
Nice.
Hey, Renee.
Nice.
But the thing here is, I'm not going to say an event is open and then not invite people. That's the problem with the American event that happened.
Right.
That people say, "Oh, all are invited." Did you send an invitation? You know, because not everyone's situation is clean. You know, and
Not everybody sees or hears everything.
not everyone. Some people are blocked. Some people are not on social media.
Yep.
There's people younger than me. That's like everybody. But I've had parents in my school tell me, "Oh no, we're not on Facebook or Instagram."
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you not be on those things? Because I mean, so many businesses, like Facebook, a lot of businesses use that as a platform. I'm not saying you have to interact on that, but you know,
You'd be surprised the number of local martial arts schools that only have a Facebook presence.
yeah, right. Not even a website.
Yeah.
So when I see these things, it just, it's like, oh, Mama's calling you. Go get Mama.
Mm-hmm.
Go get her. Go. So, when we do those events, so we have 3 events coming up. 2025 will be the 25th anniversary of the World Moderation Alliance. Ty and I will be celebrating our 60th birthdays. The year after that is the 25th anniversary or the 25th memorial of Remy, and that'll be the last time we do a memorial event. Okay, I don't want to remember his death. I want to celebrate his life, because the following year is the 70th anniversary of the art. Nice. And I'll be inviting. And what's going to happen is I'm putting this mailing list together. I'm inviting the people I have information. For those who hear this and people who are interested, let them push in my direction, and I'll be more than happy to invite them. I will be inviting Brian Zwolinski, Dan Anderson, and others to come to the event. Very upfront. I have a teaching staff. They're not part of it. Okay. But if they wanted to share some information while they were there, I would be more than happy to do it. And if they bring a bunch of people with them, then I could easily, I can merit putting them on the teaching thing. But the thing here is, if I'm going to say if all are welcome to attend, then I need to invite them. I'll be inviting the Filipinos to come as well. I'll be inviting Dieter to come, but I'm not putting them on the staff. There's a difference between being welcome to the event and being part of the staff. But any of these people that came, if they actually went to all that trouble to come and participate in the event, I would definitely give them the opportunity to share some information. But I can't have an inclusive event if I don't invite people to be part of it.
By definition.
And we've seen the American event, and I think someone asked me, well, why are you going to that event? I'm like, who deserves to be there more than anyone else? Who has more of a right to go there besides family than me? You know, as close as I was with Remy, how do you tell me that I can't go? You know, and the issue I had with the event, the commemoration event, is that Ray and I are the only ones that really train the art.
Of all the people there.
We didn't cross train in, we trained it.
Right.
Okay. Dieter came in late and he was cross ranked in. But Dieter was an Ernesto student. And he took the DAV and attached it to the IMAF, but when Rocky asked that question about how much time did you spend, 50 hours, that was like 3 camps. It was 2 camps and a seminar.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a lot of time, you know, because it was over a short period of, you know, what years, whatever. But so I mean, I look at the people who were there. You know, Dieter did a speech, and I get it because he's in tight with the FMA festival. The Filipinos inherited the one from Germany. That's it. So I get it. They got all that stuff going on. Germany had a lot of delegates there. The States didn't have hardly any. And then, like, when you look at the festival and the Maddie event, all the Americans that were there, they weren't modern people. You know, they were Mike Millinger and Eric. You know, Rodolfo was there. He's a Comitan guy. I mean, he's a Bamba July guy. You know, there were not. I mean, and Ray was there. You know, I mean, like, but Ray was. You know, when all that stuff was going on, he ended up getting rank in modern, but he was a SIAC guy more than a modern guy. I mean, that's where his Tuhan comes from. He was a SIAC, which started his FCS. Although he does all, you know, he openly admits he owes a lot to Remy. But but I looked at. I mean, it just that was the thing that was a little. That's the thing that left a bad taste in my mouth. And initially was like, well, where are all the Americans? And then after I got there, I was like, all right, a lot of people weren't invited in the Philippines. The only family member that was invited was Roberto and his wife. Because, like I said, John wasn't invited. Plardell wasn't invited. But when he found out I was there, he stopped by to say hello.
That's cool. Yeah.
And then and the kids were amazing. I had videos of the kids doing demos and all this other stuff. Dance routines and stuff. It was amazing. They really put a good show on together. The bittersweet part of it is that, you know, I mean, I was there, but there was no one there who had that kind of relationship with Remy other than myself. And if it was all about Remy, all the numbers were all the now Prace's legacy, which is more on the Ernesto side of the equation than on the Remy side. There's a bunch of Abanico Tres Puntos people there. That's great. It's great. But I mean, it was just Ray and myself, you know. And Rich, you said you didn't get an invite.
No.
Ty, you and I knew about it.
Right.
And I coordinated my trip so I could be there for that, but I was going there anyways. Right. You know, I don't think the Motts were invited. Now maybe Brian was invited because he's buddy with Dieter, and you know, but I mean, Chuck and Kenny, I don't give a damn about any of the. Okay, John and I don't get along. I was the one. I told him we're not talking on this. Where's Dean? And I wasn't invited. Yeah, no one invites you, Renee. I go, but at the end of the day, I'm on the phone with, or I'm messaging back and forth. I'm like, oh, now we're
there we go.
now we're 12 eyes.
12 eyes. Yeah.
So, but the thing here is, when John told me, I wasn't invited. I'm like, yeah, but it's your fucking uncle. Get over here.
Yeah.
No one's going to stop me from being there, because this was not a martial art event. This was the town opening ceremonies, and martial artists were there. The town was celebrating their hero, Remy Prices.
True.
I wish it would have been broader, though.
Yeah.
I wish they celebrated the Prices family. Because, as I've said before, Remy created modern, but not without the help of his brothers. Well, he built the art on his own, but he didn't populate without the help of the others.
Yep.
And
Roberto, that wasn't then there, I suppose.
No, Roberto was there.
Roberto was
but
okay.
They were wheeling him around.
Yeah.
But he is blind and deaf.
Wow. Okay.
Signing all his diplomas.
Well, I will remember him the way I last saw him. So he's not blind and deaf to me.
Hey, I got the video of us doing that demo for him.
Yep.
At his place, which is, how many people can say that?
His reaction was awesome.
Yeah. Let's see here. Am I in there? Looking. Oh yeah, there we go.
So it was a town ceremony celebrating one of their own, which is awesome. It was in like the town square. How many people?
Huge event. A couple hundred when you talk all the people demos and stuff and all this other stuff.
Well, that part's cool. Good deal.
Yeah.
It's nice to see a town, recognize one of their own, which is cool.
Yes. So, like I said, but I don't think, here's the thing. I don't think they left people out. I think they just were sloppy.
I think you characterized it earlier on pretty well. I think they did it for the town, not for the martial artists, right? Unfortunately, it would have been nice to let those people who could also appreciate it the most be in on it in terms of being able to support if they wanted to. I get it's a town event. Cool.
And I just got a message from Jade Gahe, and she's hanging out with her father.
Oh, nice. And he's saying, "Don't listen to that Tim guy."
Yeah, they were. Yeah, well,
Nice. All right, so that's cool. No, I appreciate the update on the statue. But also, Rich came on for now. I forgot what. Hopefully, you remember. I'm sure Rich remembers.
So the discussion with the dean, which was if your senior of the art or your senior of your org, or head of the org, whatever term, asked you to teach and carry on, but didn't necessarily name you as the heir or specifically, or didn't tell everybody to follow you, just told you to go teach, right, officially. While others were told to teach and you had been teaching, right? That's where it was going. So then some discussions came around.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm going to sit there, because it's not bragging if I say it. Rich is who I consider the senior, and Ted had him show up to the hospital to get his commitment to take the art forward. Never said successor, never said Grandmaster. But the thing here is Rich didn't ask, Ted asked Rich.
Right.
Okay. Only him and one other person.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was the gist of what's going on. And then during that conversation, when talk about words, it's being very sloppy with words and stuff. Chris has said, well, when Wally J initially named 4 people to inherit, and then eventually said Leon, and if you left the organization, then you weren't doing the art. I called him on it, and he recanted what he's saying. Well, what I meant was, and that's what and Rich, that was accurate what I called, right?
Yeah, because, well, Chris was trying to say you left, but I think he wasn't precise, as you said, where if you leave the org, you can't complain about the org anymore, right?
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean, well,
you can provide data, you can make statements, but, you can't go, hey, I would have done this instead, right? You would say, nope, we're moving forward, we're doing our own thing. But to say that you've left the art because you're no longer with a specific organization is a little bit more questionable. And I think that's what you were trying to cover.
Well, when he had made the comment about, his comment was, if you left the organization, you're no longer part of the art. So I'm like, hey, do you consider me part of Modern Ernie's? Yeah. I resigned. When Remy resigned due to his medical condition, I resigned because Remy was my teacher. The students who took things over were my juniors. Matter of fact, and then the other thing we talked about, which was very specific, it's funny, while Remy was alive, we all followed rank protocol. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, this title supersedes everything after Remy was hospitalized. But every time I entered the room, once I got settled, if I was the highest rank, and most of the time I was the guy that everyone talked to, and I ran things. I would bow people in, or no, we would all bow in for Remy. If at camp, if I'm running the show, Remy, Tim, get the warm up going, and Professor hits the back. I'm like, oh, on that, I run to Professor Pugai, or actually, and we would, and then, okay, now go back to doing what we're doing. I remember Chuck on a couple of times, Tim, bow him out, because I was a senior guy. So at the end of the session, I'd bow everyone out. We followed that protocol while Remy was alive and healthy. And then once he had to retire doing this thing, everything went sideways. What is your problem?
Must be the other co-host stirring things up some more.
The co-host with the most.
That's right. How you been?
I've been pretty good. So I recently started hyaluronic acid for the knee. And I'm on the second shot today, and I've seen a good improvement for less pain and more mobility. So,
did you talk to, I know this is personal stuff, everybody, you don't care, but that's okay, Abel, about his knees and stuff, since,
No, but I'll reach out to him.
But yeah, you might do that, because he's been struggling with his knees for a really long time, and somehow limping on through like a trooper. So maybe he has some insight for you. Cool. Yes. Yeah. And Renee, yes, I don't put the glasses on the ears right now because of the glare. If I do, see, it's irritating. So I put it up during the show a lot of times.
Yeah, sorry, Renee, I'm on my phone, so I'm having a harder time seeing the.
Oh, you can see those on the phone too? I mean, if you were
no, I can't. No.
Oh, never. Not even a piece of. Okay.
No, none of the chat, unless Tim shares them.
Well, we keep those things from you because we're worried about you.
But in general, health discussions, healthiness, martial arts, bringing forward. Talk to your doctors. Talk to them about different treatments. It's been around for a long time. This type of treatment. It's got benefits. There's other things that people talk about using it for, but the theory is that it kind of builds up and attaches to the existing cartilage. It's not a permanent thing, so that's why they allow it every 6 months to a year.
Right.
So,
and I know they don't recommend it for hips because it usually doesn't work more than a week or so. But for knees, it tends to if it is going to work, it works longer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Renee said something about you, Rich, but I don't want to repeat it here. You can't see it.
Okay.
I'm poking at Renee here because he actually said something that would be positive, but I wanted to make it sound negative.
I said Rich is awesome.
Oh, you don't say that. Don't say that.
Okay, yeah. Hey, so I will admit.
You forgot 5 letters. Lee Bad.
I will update something about going to the Philippines.
Oh.
If you go and use the Grab app, which you don't need the Grab app to use. They'll do it at the hotel for you, or at the airport and hotels for you. Get the 6-seater, even if you're by yourself.
Okay.
So the Asian cars are designed for Asian people.
Right.
I'm in the back seat like this. And a lot of times it's 50 to 100 pesos. That's $2, $1 to $2. Asking for a 6-passenger vehicle. Huge difference. Trust me.
Okay.
Um,
Did you take a Grab from the airport, or did you take one of the right cabs?
Oh no, because I bought a new phone.
Hmm.
I want you to check it out when you're here.
Cool.
I'll give you, you can tell me spec wise. It's a Hero. Wait, no, Hero, yeah. But you can be able to come up and check out all the things.
All right.
So, so my Verizon phone I was using, but that's like $8-9 a day.
Yeah.
Okay. This was like $1.25, and I bought and the one I had paid about $100 for. It was 5 years old, so I gave it to one of my little sister over there on a lease.
Nice. Yeah.
And she was ecstatic with how well it was working, because for me it was all clunky and stuff.
Right.
So and I found out with my Samsung, my 22, no external, no secondary memory I can put in there. I can't put any.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm looking for a new phone right now.
Yes, I do like the ability to add whatever the heck I want. If I want 60 gazillion gigabytes, I want that.
Does your phone do that? Because I know you have the same phone as I did, but the newer version of it.
Yeah, that lets you put in a memory card. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to. I got to get a phone with a memory card, because the apps are just gobbling up too much. And then when you clear the data of the apps, that's usually all the passwords and stuff like that. So,
I have a Pixel, an older one, but it's got still the fixed memory. But I bought the max memory at the time.
Yeah,
and I haven't filled it up because it's like a terabyte or something.
I have crazy quantities of apps on my phone for this, that, and the other thing, and I'm trying to go through to get rid of them. Like, I really can't. I need this. I need that. And my phone stopped taking videos and pictures. It had so much stuff in it.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, that's not good.
So then I uninstalled TikTok, which like dropped 2 gigs, but I'm at 124 gigs out of 128. So, no, it's not. Nice try, Renee.
Nice.
Yeah. So, we're all dialed in for 2025. We'll be doing our camp. I'll be one of the primary instructors, but we're bringing people in. We will have Riddell teach us. I'll probably bring in Arnold Narzo to teach us.
Nice.
A couple other people will reach out to see who's where. Tentatively, I'm going back in July. It's the week after World Championships. I'd stop out there for about a week so I can promote the World Championships that I'm hosting. But right now, the rates are close to $3,000. And I'm assuming it's that way because it's well in advance. Now, the cool thing was the day I was flying out, Delta called me, and I got a spam number. But I answered it anyways, and it was Delta. They go, "Hey, sir, here's the deal. We are flying around Russia because we can't go through Russia airspace. We have to carry more fuel, which means we have to cut back our customers." And say, "So you're telling me I'm too fat?" Okay, gotcha. No, sir, whatever. So I got there the same time. I didn't need to leave Buffalo for another 4 or 5 hours. So it had like a 6-hour layover in Atlanta.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I avoided all that, and they gave me an $800 voucher.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and this is the first time that it actually worked in my favor.
Nice.
And then I'm on the flight over there, so I flew Korea Air for part of it. Delta with Korea Air. The air managers, the two of the flight managers, made a point of finding me and introducing me and themselves to me. Mr. Hartman, yes. Oh, I'm the manager of the flight. If you need anything, let us know. I'm like, now this is my bougie moment. I'm very bougie. I am gold status right now with Amex, and I looked. Now I know I'm missing miles because I didn't track this way back when, but I'm a 250,000 miles right now. I mean, Ty, you're probably doing that. You probably blew that out of the water there. But it's 250,000 miles with Delta.
Right. Yeah.
So,
and they noticed you for it. Whereas for me, like I'm a million miler with American, they don't care.
Okay. You're a million miler with American?
Yeah.
Bastards.
Work, right? All that work travel I did.
Yeah. So, but
me
I thought it was really cool that they introduced themselves to me. So I was like,
yeah, no, that's cool. Those little touches matter. It's that customer service, right? It's part of the precision of being a businessman.
Customer service. There you go.
So, with the pension, they made you breakfast. You ordered it. You paid for it. If you wanted fruit, you get fruit. You wanted a small, couple eggs and a piece of meat, they made it for you. I can't speak highly enough for the pension.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not a 5-star. I understand that. Yeah, it's not meant for nightclubbing and so forth. But when I go to the Philippines, I'm going for a different reason. I'm going to see the sights, see the people, and discuss martial arts and train with people. So,
you know what I like about the pension is they've got a courtyard area you can sit in with an overhang. You get a nice breeze there most of the time. It's nice and relaxed, and it's it's safe because it's gated.
Yep.
And okay, and here's another interesting thing. A lot of the people have relocated, the street people. So you're not being bombarded with beggars when you walk out the door. And the thing here is this. I understand there's a lot of people that are displaced and are living in the streets. I feel bad for them. You cannot help them all. The quantity of them is just way too much. I do sponsor some people in Negros. 2 families I'm sponsoring right now. And it's what I can do. A little money goes a long way. And the person helped me on this last trip, which was really good. I knew the person back from when I first met her. She was 16 at the Combatan camps that Ernesto hosted, and now she's a mother of 6.
Wow.
I think she's so that was 2017. So she's like 28, 30 years old, something like that. Been really good, really nice. Was very helpful. Helped me out with a lot of stuff while I was down there in Negros. Make my trip work really well. I met a bunch of the kids that used to be at the beach. They're all married with children now. It was great because these are all like 7 and 8-year-olds that would team, and they'd bring me shells. So one of the vendors would come up with ice cream. So I go, hey, buy them all popsicles and stuff like that. Or, I'd bring candy, hard candy, and give it out to them at the camp and stuff like that. I mean, Ernesto would do things for the kids, and I love kids, and evidently Ernesto saw how I liked kids and stuff, and how I would treat them and help out, and that was one of the reasons why we got along so well. When we were at Barras, there was someone asking for money, and I went to the family. Goes, this kid really need money? Is there just like, you know what? If you want to do something, Tim, you'd buy him bread or something like so. So we bought him food, and I bought him food and gave it to him, and if he's really, so if when there's people begging somewhere, if you buy them food and they freak out about it in a negative way, then they're full of shit. So I got that way back the first time I went to New York City. And the guy that was a friend of a student of mine, and we hung out at his place for the weekend. And he's like, listen, if you want to help these guys out, you buy them food. If they complain about it, then they really don't need it. They're full of shit. They're scamming people.
I used to keep a bag of returnable cans in my trunk. And when they hit you at a corner or an intersection, be like, hey, I'm getting out of the car and pop the trunk and give you a bag of cans. No, man, it's okay. I don't want to. Be like, okay, all right, talk to you later. If they didn't want to do the work of carrying the bags to the store and returning them, right, then it wasn't that needful for them.
So, but ultimately, it was a good trip. There was a couple of missteps, and a lot of it was because of miscommunication. Like I said, the first one, a bunch of these is that the distances were far away. There was people not knowing, like when I went up to get my blades, at the very last minute, I found out that Grab has regions and people stick to their regions. Same thing with taxis. Taxis are licensed for a certain area.
Oh, okay.
And they can't go in other regions, or only certain times of the day they can go in other regions. So there's all this stuff that, I mean, and the pension helped work it out for me, which is great. They're the ones that made everything work for me very well. I'm very pleased with that. But it was a little, that's where the missteps were.
With the regions, it almost sounds like it would be good to go back to a driver and car at that point.
And we've got that now. We've got one of our first drivers. I haven't seen him in years. And he got away. He was using a taxi doing that. Now he's bought his own car, a nice 6-seater, which means it'll fit 4, but 4 of us.
3? Oh, okay. I was going to say.
So, yeah. So
I can fit.
I remember being in pain on one of those crunched rides where we were all smashed together. I remember that. It was before my first hip replacement. That hurt a lot.
Yeah.
So, things are in a, so I learned some things, and one of which is order the larger vehicle, 6-passenger. Here's a good one. The cash change place right at the airport, right on the premises. They're phenomenal.
Oh, okay.
They're right on point. Oh yeah, their rate was just as good as anyone else's.
Okay. So you didn't have to go to the mall again, or
I still did. No. But I mean, I didn't change all my money. I just, hey, let's, let me just do. I started off. Let me do 500. Okay, fine. And I mean, that was more than enough to get me going, because I did credit card whenever possible.
Yeah.
So, so the hotels, I was good to go on that. Just the drivers. If I had a driver, see, if I did Grab,
right,
I did
credit card essentially.
Credit card. That's not a problem because it's already done there. And one, I swapped it out on the new phone and I didn't verify it. I thought the information. So the first ride to the airport to Negros didn't work. So then I had to put in the new credit card number, and then that all was there. So.
Renee's got a question for Rich. Renee, for Rich, what did you think of the statue? Because we were talking about the statue.
Not very Remy-esque. Very every person or every Filipino-esque.
Right.
I'm happy they have something up. I'm happy they did something for the honor.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe
his name specifically.
Yep. So it was a gift. So I'm going to take it as that.
There you go. Yep. Good way of looking at it.
Yeah. So,
I do know that there was a statue in the works years ago.
Right.
So I don't know if that's the same process that finally came around a decade later, or.
Right. Well, I was wondering the same thing. Is this part of that whole thing, or is this was a whole other effort? Okay.
A whole other effort.
Okay.
Yeah. So any of the money that was donated to that, I doubt very much ever went anywhere.
Well, yeah, there's that one, but I thought there was another one too. So, but okay.
Well, there was, once again, I don't trust people because I know of in the past that people claim to be working on. I was talking to the kids, Remy's kids, talked about the finishing in the grave. Someone was doing some fundraisers for that, and they're like, no, there's nothing to finish. It's done.
Right.
and people were using it as an opportunity, and I will not mention their names, but I won't work with people. There's a lot of people I won't work with because I know where the bodies are buried.
Right.
And all my stuff is out. It's just people just don't like my opinion. They take it personal. That's fine. Oh, here we go.
There you go.
Renee's gonna do a statue of me. But it was a good trip. There was a couple missteps. I will tell you this: when we do our events, we do not have these problems. When we do our event in the Philippines, our tour in the Philippines, we do not have these problems. So, anyone who decides to join us next year, February, you're going to have one heck of an event. It'll be a good time. We're going to work on some day trips. Okay, Renee needs some hot glue and macaroni. So
Nice.
that's good. That's good to know.
I thought you were going to weld it up there, Renee.
But I'm going to say, we do a pretty darn good thing. And we're organizing an event that will take place in a foreign country. And it runs just as good, if not better, than the events that happen over there. So, I'm not going to say all events, but, and I'm not trying to say I'm doing things to the scale.
I was going to ask that next. Yeah. What are the open slots? Are you inviting, are we making sure to invite locals, or is, how many and who and all that good stuff? I guess I don't know if you've figured that all out yet. Because you said open to anybody who wants to go with us, but what about the people that are there?
Well, I will see about if Renee Thompson is available, because he travels a lot, so I don't know. I like Renee. I like doing stuff with him, so I would definitely want to have him stop by. Riddell the Guck will be one of. Okay, so there's the homeland trainers and then the foreign trainers. The foreign trainers like myself. Initially, I was going to have people like from Denmark. Torbjörn was talking about coming out and have him as part of the team. Well, that was pre-COVID.
Sure. That would have been cool.
Yeah, I have not revisited this situation. So he's not that it's not invited. I just have not discussed it with him to see if that's something he's interested in or not.
Yep.
But that's also the year of the World Championships. And, I probably wouldn't be able to do both. So.
Right.
So, we'll see how that all goes down. I mean, but I would definitely have Riddell there as a homeland instructor. I would definitely have. I'll talk to Arnold Narzo to see if he's available, and there's a few other people I would like to invite to be part of the event.
Great. Well, we'll talk about that more, like you said, through the rest of the year. So as these things gel.
Yeah, I will say this. Yeah, on more than one occasion, Riddell kept bringing up that he and I are teaching together in DC in August.
Okay.
Like, Tim, where are we teaching together? In DC. Right, in August, aren't we? Yes, we are. And he's tickled pink about the two of us being back together again.
Nice.
So, so I got the Mataguro thing. He kept, hey, where are we going to be, Tim? We're going to be here. When? This date. So,
Good.
So, all in all, it was a positive trip. And, I'll see if we're going to get on the same schedule with the festival or if we're going to stay opposite of it. There could be some benefits of doing the next one the same time, which I am not going to comment yet because certain things cannot be
Not ready for public.
Yeah, it's not my place to say things.
Gotcha.
So,
But based on that, you don't have absolute dates yet, but tentatively February, early March next year, it's latest.
so
Yeah.
what impact did episode 355 have on your life, Rich?
FMA discussion, yes.
Yes.
That's that other show.
I reviewed it, and I had a lot of reflectful thoughts.
So I want to talk about a change here.
Mm.
So first of all, if you go to the playlist, at least on the primary one, maybe on the secondary page, we now have them listed by season. I have playlist season set up.
Okay.
And I have a graphic for each season, slightly different. So we are in
Season 4, is that what I saw?
we are in season 4.
That's crazy.
That we still have,
episode 4.
I'm sorry?
It said season 4, episode 4, right? Isn't that what the title was?
Yep.
Episode
404.
Yeah.
But there is a social media project that's coming up. And most likely, let me see which one. Hit the wrong button. That's the one I wanted.
That's what she said.
So the Tim Hartman account, which, okay, so there's a Datu Tim Hartman and a Tim Hartman account.
Okay.
So I'm going to show it to you right here.
And by the way, hi, DiFranco.
Okay. So the Tim Hartman one here, that was the replacement because I lost the credentials on the first one and then I found it later.
Right.
So at Tim Hartman, that is probably going to be going down a different path and you will not be seeing the podcast on that one anymore.
Okay.
Starting in sometime in April. We'll get into that later. And then it's the one that's different is let me see here. I'll get this one up. They are fairly a mimic of each other. The difference is that it has cancel that.
Boom. Where'd Rich go? Oh, sorry. You said cancel.
So right there. So this one has the black and white version. And it's Datu Hartman versus Tim Hartman. So this one's probably going to stay for our podcasts and stuff. But if you go to the podcast, we've got season 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Nice.
So 19 episodes the first season, 26 to 7, 17 on the third. I think that's wrong. I'll have to double check some things. But
so was it season 2, episode 6 that I was on in the Bluntwalk discussion?
I'm sorry?
I was pulling a Renee. Was it season 2 or season 3, episode 6?
Oh, okay, there you go, something like that. So, so I'm gonna have this there, and I might be making. There's a chance that my Datu Hartman Facebook page may go away. We're doing some things with some social media companies, so I am waiting for them to tell me some stuff. I might freeze one of the accounts temporarily and then just pull it back out if I don't like what's going on with it. But there are some changes because we are teaming up with some people up there and taking things to the next level. So don't be surprised at certain things,
So I had a LinkedIn contact to reach out to me to be added. She was a person who concentrates on your appearance and your personal marketing.
Hmm.
I didn't know if I should be honored to think that I would need such a thing, or if I should be insulted because I needed some help.
Well, I got a group. Well, it officially started yesterday. We signed the contract.
Well, I mean,
and
it makes sense, right? It's gotten to be kind of an art to get yourself out there correctly because so many people are doing it. So, you're probably not going to be doing it as optimally as maybe you could with some help. So it makes sense.
Oh, it
Yeah.
does. I was
Yeah,
making
yeah.
a fun.
But I remember back in the day, I did my own search engine optimization. I was on the top page of a lot of things under the search engines I was interested in. You can't do that anymore by yourself.
No. And I'm the stuff we're the group I'm working with is like some next level stuff.
Okay.
So which means I'm also dealing with some next level fees.
Yes, of course. Of course.
So
Flash double EEPROM or flash electrical emulated memory. That's good. Feed.
Renee says season 3.
Thank you, Renee.
But all right. I don't have much more. I think we covered pretty much everything, on this.
Yeah, it's a good update. This is you were very positive online, which I think is good, but there's more to the story, and I think you leaked out the right amount, right? So people know the realities, but they know it was generally good. So that's good.
I will sit there and say, when you do things in the Philippines with those groups, have a backup plan.
Do all the things you can do for yourself to set yourself up for success.
Yep.
You should do that anyway. Always, it's part of that trust but verify thing.
Trust but verify. There you go. And that.
And also, all plans are great until you start doing them, and then something happens.
Yeah, no plan survives contact with the enemy.
That's right.
Life is the enemy.
That's right.
Yep. So, like I said, there'll be more things coming down the pike on this. So, we'll see how things go.
Well, this is nice. There's a nice bonus to get Rich on here as well. So,
yeah. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much.
No, it was good. Good. We should just do this more often in general. Say hi.
So next week's topic is going to be the pros and cons in attending seminars. I'm a big seminar fan, but there are definitely issues. And we're going to talk about that and how it's affected the art. And,
Are you going to cover it just from the student side? You're going to cover it from the methodology of teaching? Or are you going to cover...
I'm going to talk about the student side of the equation.
Okay.
For the most part. I mean, we might get into the teaching side, but the pros and cons of attending an event, and there's a lot of good things that, you get advanced material, but because you do it from a seminar format, there's a lot of things you are not getting. And a big part of that I see is footwork. And we'll talk about it. When you got a big room of people
With
and
different
then
backgrounds.
3-foot arms and 2-foot sticks, and
right.
It adds your space that when you figure out there's a formula to figure out what the occupancy of a room is. Based on square footage, how much space you need. They should do one for FMA.
Right.
Because it's probably a third
or less. Yeah.
or less of that number.
Well, it's funny because actually that's probably so video format. If you're learning something from videos or polishing something, that's another thing that suffers. Footwork suffers on that too. Usually.
Yep.
Some
And we talk about that a lot on the show or on our episode. When I'm doing content, I go, hey, listen now, remember, I'm doing this and I'm staying
in the camera. Right.
In the camera. So, to staying in frame, I'm not doing, said the proper footwork. Well, it should be more like this, but to stay in frame, we're sacrificing some things. But
So
I'm addressing it so people understand.
when I've done one or two video seminars outside of Tim's, and then the ones at Tim's where he does his hybrids. And before we're setting up, and he may have the camera on or whatever, I go find my marks because I can usually see what's being presented, and then I can know where I need to be. If they need to see a foot or a knee, then I need to know exactly where I need to be, and then I go get to my marks. And then if I need something on the student side to be visible, then I know where I need to stand to have that be visible on them. And I know that I've gotten positive feedback from the people who watch this, and they're like, yeah, we were able to see clearly what you were looking for. And it's those little details. And Tim does it naturally because he set it up. He knows where to go. He knows what he's doing. But I don't think everybody else picks up on that. So I think that's a good discussion point as well, Tim.
Yeah, so that'll be the next one, because there's pros and cons, and like, hey, you get a lot of enhanced material, but the problem when you learn a seminar, you're filling in the gaps with your primary art.
Yep.
And that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing, but it might not be the right thing.
Right. Yeah, we'll talk about it before. I'm going to probably say they're a lot like a survey course.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but
Yep. Cool. Okay. And I will not be as discombobulated by the change in time next time.
We'll get there. All right. Well, Rich, thanks for coming on board.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Big hugs, man. Big hugs.
Talk to you later, brother.
Bye.
That was cool. Just as much hearing the trip as well as just getting a chance to sit down with Rich for a second, even if it's virtual.
Yeah. Well, it gave me that thing. And, like I said, it was about communication and words. And, I'm not calling Chris out. What I'm saying is that,
I mean, yeah, he's not the only one that does that kind of stuff. It's just a handy example.
He made a comment. And I think he misspoke.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked for clarification. Well, I meant, okay, great. But that's not what came out of your mouth. And it's not me busting his chops. It was clarifying. And you know what? He had an opportunity to clarify his thoughts.
Well, that's where it was good, right? So if he made a quick statement to shorthand, that kind of stuff, and it could be not quite right, you asked, he answered, and then that was good on both ends. Good that you asked, and good that he was able to clarify what he really wanted to say, which is perfect.
Yeah,
but you can't have that unless somebody asks.
And that's what I tell people a lot of times. I've got. I don't want to say it off the top of my head. I have a moment. Something says something is brought up, and then I have a visceral response, or my immediate response, and I don't have time to refine it. And then I get to reiterate it later. But it's of course, these days I've noticed people don't want to give you that opportunity anymore.
Right.
They just want to persecute you for what came out of your mouth.
Right.
Versus, what do you mean by that? Well, I'm glad you asked.
I think that's a great question. People should remember now how to ask before they get pissed off, before they get upset or offended, or whatever. Ask first. What do you mean by that? And then, again, it's a trust but verify. It's like, oh, you think you might get offended, but let's make sure, because it takes a lot of energy to get offended. So you better be sure that that's what you want to do.
Yeah, like I said, I a lot of times you just need time to digest it yourself.
Yep.
I'm dealing with the Chamber of Commerce. Some things came up. Like, should I be happy or should I be ticked off? And the long run, big scheme, after I took time and I didn't respond right away, and I made a comment. There was a bunch of comments afterwards, and it's actually a good one because people are feeling they want to be involved with something where in the past they were we weren't even having enough people showing up to do votes. We couldn't have a quorum. Okay,
Right.
now I sent a heads up. Hey, I want to talk about this topic, and people are asking me, "Hey, can you tell us more what you're thinking?" Blah blah blah. And like, well, I don't want to say so much that it defeats having the meeting, but it was good that there was 4 emails back and forth on this stuff. Some asking for clarification, some making comments, and I don't think they know where they assumed I was coming from somewhere, but you know what? It started a dialogue, and now people have the topic in their head. So when I go to the meeting on Thursday, I can get more intel from them and then refine where I'm coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And but they've already got the mindset versus being hit out of left field. What do you mean by this? Well, now they've got the bug in their ear, and now I got time to figure out what I'm talking about, or get them more open to the topic in general. But so we've been on so we're here it's been 2 hours and 20 minutes, 23 minutes. So that was a good one. Well, listen, so next week will be the pros and cons of attending seminars. And then ultimately everyone has to make their own judgment call if that's something they want to do. All right. Listen, with no further ado, this is it's always a pleasure to work with my good friend here, PG Tye Botting. So this is Datu Tim.
PG Tye.
You all stay safe, and we'll talk to you all soon.
Thank you.